So the film is called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
I want to preface this by saying I have never seen Planet of the Apes,
Okay.
so I don't really have like a point of reference.
All right. So ISO on me is what you're saying.
Yeah, like I'm out. Like I said, I can ask things and see where you can fill in the blanks for me. But
Yeah.
this is imagine I am considering venturing down the Planet of the Apes universe.
Okay. Got
And
it.
you are giving a review whether I should yay or nay because of this particular film.
I'll get to that. So Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So the movie came out 2 weeks ago at the point of recording this. 2 weeks ago tomorrow. So I'm going to start by saying spoiler alert. In case you haven't seen it and you want to see it, you should probably skip ahead because I'm going to say a lot of spoilers.
Okay.
And I feel like 2 weeks is enough time, but some people don't feel that. So just in case, skip ahead and hear us talk about Apple's list.
Oof.
Yeah, we started good, bad, worst. So, that being said, Planet of the Apes has had quite a few things come out since the 70s. There were original set of films that came out in the 70s. Really, I think the late 60s, but I don't remember the exact year. But late 60s into early 70s, a bunch of movies came out. There was also a TV show that I believe was only one season. And then many years later, in the early 2000s, we got one film by Mark Wahlberg, starring Mark Wahlberg.
I remember.
That shit don't count. Yeah,
I,
don't.
I remember when that came out. I may have even seen a little bit of that.
That film tried to take the 3 or 4 films that came out in the 70s and put it into one film with a twist. It's weird. And if you never saw anything and you just watch it, maybe it's a cool watch for you. If you're a Planet of the Apes fan, you probably don't even want to recognize that film exists.
So Mark
Uh,
Wahlberg has nothing to do with what's happening now.
no, and that's why I'm starting this way.
Okay.
So then many years later, in the 2010s, which I guess is a few years later from the Mark Wahlberg joint,
Oh
they
my gosh,
came out
sorry.
with so
And
good.
I'm like sitting here drinking coffee and
Drink up. Anyway, whatever. So in the 2010s, they started from scratch. Most of the films in the 70s took place in a futuristic world, a future time where astronauts were traveling, got lost in space, and landed on a planet. And that planet was where apes could talk, could walk, were smart, and humans were like the apes.
okay.
And throughout those films, you learn a couple of different things, and they even venture back to Earth at some point. And the story kind of slowly goes towards this futuristic ape time. The original series actually ends with the story of Caesar, the first smart ape, helping free other apes. And that's how it ends.
Okay.
In 2011 or 2010, whatever it is, it started the opposite direction. So where most of the old films take place in this future, different planet where the apes are intelligent and the humans are Neanderthals, basically. In 2011, they started in modern times where they are trying to fix Alzheimer's and create a way to kill a cure for the disease, the disease. In that manipulating science, they create smart apes.
Okay.
and a smart ape gives birth to a baby. That baby is like a super genius, and that baby starts by learning to sign. And that's not gang signs. I just don't know sign language. And then eventually that ape begins to talk and free other apes. It also makes a group of apes intelligent. Uh, and so they're kind of trying. They slowly get to the point where they're telling you how humans became dumber, how apes became smarter, how civilization began, and how humans kind of regressed, right? And so I say that to say there were three films that came out. It was a trilogy. It is pretty clear that this is number four. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is number four. And so that's why I say all of this. So in movie number one, we learn about Caesar and how he kind of came to exist, him beginning to free the apes. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is the second film. And it's 10 years later. There's barely any humans. They haven't seen humans in like 10 or 12 years, but they interact with a group of humans, and a war begins because of another ape. I'll say the second in command. He wanted to be first in command. And so he betrays Caesar, starts a war with the humans. Fast forward to the third film. It's all out war between apes and humans. And humans and an avalanche pretty much erase humans. I'm trying to do this in fast forward for context. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes takes place many generations later.
Okay.
They say that as soon as the film starts, they show you Caesar dead. They show you them honoring him in his death. And then it says many generations later. And they start a brand new civilization. And we learn about this community of apes uh, who really are kind of like not that advanced.
Okay.
They are, but they're not. It's kind of weird. And that group of apes, oh, they're a clan. That's what they say. They're a clan. So that clan of apes
Mm-hmm.
uh, runs into another clan of apes.
Okay.
And that other clan of apes destroys this clan's village and kicks their ass.
Oof. Okay.
And
For no reason.
for no reason. And they say the reason is for Caesar.
Oh.
And this is where it gets right. This is where things get really confusing because you're like, wait a minute. Caesar had rules. There were like 6 rules. One of the rules was apes don't kill apes.
They killed
And
some.
man, these dudes killed apes. Apes killed apes in
Ooh.
this movie.
Okay.
So
All right.
off rip, you get the not off rip because they give you some backstory about the clan or whatever, and the new main character. And anyway, you get very curious about what's going on. And so the new main character, he wants to go find his clan. He's a survivor of the raid, I guess I'll say, the pillaging of his village. He survives and he's like, I gotta find the rest of my people. So he sets out to find the rest of his people, and he finds 2 other individuals. He finds another ape who actually is from Caesar's teachings. He's the last survivor of Caesar's clan, is what
Mhm.
he says. And he begins kind of slowly teaching this main character, who I can't remember his name right now, but he teaches this main character a little bit about Caesar's teachings. And he says, you see, the problem is that other group has taken Caesar's teachings and twisted them for their own fucked up agenda.
Mhm. Okay.
And so he also runs into a human. And it seems to be like the smartest of the Neanderthal humans that we learn about.
Okay.
We even see an interaction where the Caesar ape, the quote unquote Caesar apes, the bad guy apes,
Yeah.
they are kidnapping humans or trying to kidnap some of the Neanderthal humans.
Okay.
And the main character and the other guy, the OG, they help this human escape. And they reference a lot of things from that trilogy.
Okay.
They call the young lady the name of a young lady from from the other films. They speak about Caesar's uh, desire for
Mm-hmm.
apes and humans to coexist, and different things like that. And so they are now three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Now the three of them are traveling to find this main character's clan.
Okay.
Well, we find out the OG dies. Spoiler alert. OG dies.
You're giving all the spoilers.
Oh yeah, I got to break it down.
Mm-hmm.
OG dies, and as OG dies, now the two are linked together. So we got the main human and the main ape
Okay.
characters. And
Let's
so,
stop.
well, there's a couple things that are weird. We find out that this girl can talk. Humans are not supposed to be able to talk. This girl can clearly understand what the apes are saying, and that's not what a Neanderthal is able to do. We also find out moments later, they are kidnapped by this other clan, the quote unquote bad clan, Caesar's clan, quote unquote. And we find out there's a bad Caesar, a new Caesar. And this Caesar is smart, but he's obsessed with Roman history. And that's why he calls himself Caesar.
Okay.
And
Makes
also, he has positioned his group of apes and all apes that he can find. He captures all apes and brings them together.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And he remixes the original Caesar's kind of methodology.
Mm-hmm.
And so he even says something from those original three films about how apes need to stick together, they're stronger that way, etc. But he rules through fear
Uh-huh.
and his advanced weaponry. And so he has. You good over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, he set up shop
Mm-hmm.
on a beach and he's trying to get into what he believes is a human place.
Okay.
And it looks like a dam, and he's trying to break into the human place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And so he has a human with him. He has an older guy, the main character from Shameless. You know that actor?
Yeah.
He's there.
I loved Shameless.
And so we run into that guy. And that guy says, hey, he tells the girl, hey, listen, you need to get with the program, honey.
Uh-huh.
These apes will let you live like a king. I got hot water, cold water, tea, all type of fly stuff.
Okay.
They just want me to read books and then read books to them. Sometimes I help them plan and find other apes.
Okay.
Girl, if you get on board, you can live like a queen.
Okay.
But this girl says, hell no.
Cool.
And so now the plot thickens because as she's saying hell no, the new Caesar is trying to recruit the main character.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's trying to recruit him. And so we have a powwow. And so we
Okay.
have both humans and the two main apes sitting down and literally having dinner at a table. And we find out that the human, the girl,
Mm-hmm.
is full of shit.
Oh.
She's
Wait,
smarter.
pause for a second. Wait, are you going to tell everybody the whole movie?
Oh, I could stop here, but
I'm just wondering.
oh, I don't got to do it that way. I could do it quicker.
Because I know you said you were giving spoilers, but it's not like you read
Oh,
it through the whole
so
thing.
this is what I'll say.
Uh,
Uh, if you want me to review it in fast forward, here it goes. And maybe I could edit some of this down then, because I didn't need to do all of that. I was just trying to give context for what I'm about to say.
okay, which is fine. I'm not trying to rush you. I wasn't sure if that's the way you were trying to go, and I wasn't sure if it was me who
Well, you say you never saw it, so I was trying to
Right.
give
So
you
you
all
were
the
giving
context I
me,
could.
that's what I figured. So I just wanted to,
All right. So the girl is
Mhm.
plotting. She's actually super smart. She's as smart as me and you, maybe smarter.
Mhm.
In fact, this bitch is a genius
Oh, okay.
compared to the Neanderthals that are running
Right.
around.
Yeah.
She makes dynamite from scratch.
Oh.
She knows how to read a map. She knows how to read and write. And that's why I was slowly trying to build this up. But yo, let's just get to it.
Uh-huh.
This bitch is a genius for this time, and she betrays everybody.
Oh.
She was helping the apes get into this dam. We find out it's not a dam. It's a facility where they were living. It's like um it's like a bunker, but a military grade bunker. And so they've got tanks in there, weapons in there, classrooms in there, all type of shit. Assault rifles, everything.
Okay.
I mean the works. And
So
she
this
knows that, but the apes don't.
okay, so this was all about her betraying them to lure them to the bunker.
No. She,
Okay.
we find out she was looking for the same place that the new Caesar had all the apes at.
Okay. But what
He
did she
figured
want
out,
with the apes?
I'm trying to get there.
Okay.
So she, new Caesar figured out, I don't know what's in there, but there's some fly human shit in there. And when we get in there, because it's like a wall they're trying to break into and they
Hmm.
can't, figures out when we get in there, not only can we erase the rest of the humans, but I know there's technology in there that will help advance our entire civilization
Okay.
because he got shameless with him.
Right.
So based on what he knows of being a smart ape and whatever conversations have happened between him and Shameless,
Hmm.
that's what he says. He's like, I know if we get in there, we could get like from here to like up here
Okay.
because the best of the humans is in there. And
Okay.
so, main character Ape, two of his homies from his village, and Shorty make dynamite from scratch, rig the whole village, and climb a huge mountain and go through the back door window situation into this place. Right?
So, okay.
They open the main door to get out, and who's waiting? You guessed it. All the bad apes.
All the baddies.
Sure. Two important things happen in this scene. Number one, well, three things. Number one, we see all the advanced military grade weaponry that's in this place. There's literally tanks and assault rifles. Number two, we see that the young lady is looking for something specific in here. So it make it seem like she's going to get a gun or something, but she actually pulls out some cartridge from a machine, throws it in her pack, her purse.
Uh huh.
And number three, she get a gun and shoots Bad Caesar.
Oh.
Right after she blows up all the dynamite and floods the whole shit. Because part of the dynamite is they were on a beach and they basically had a dam blocking all the water. But she
Right.
blew that shit with all the dynamite. That's what the dynamite was blowing up. And it floods this whole building.
Hmm.
Oh, the
Oh.
other important thing is
Okay.
the three friend apes, main character and his two homies,
Mm-hmm.
they stumble into a classroom and they find a book for preschoolers, toddlers. And in that book is the zoo. And apes are in the zoo. And humans are Hey, look at that monkey.
Not funny, but it's funny.
And they're like, what the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck is this? And so now they realize, hey, this bitch is on some funny shit. This what humans do? No, this no good. So she betrays them, the place floods, and now we have a big final fight between Caesar, Ape, new Caesar, and main character. It's weird. I don't even want to get
Oh,
into that.
so let me ask you something. So you had seen all the other films,
I've seen every Planet of the Apes film ever. The only
okay?
thing I never saw was the TV show, and my dad is always cursing me out because he bought it for me 5 years ago and I've never watched it. It's still sitting in a cabinet in the plastic.
So interestingly enough, my mom told me the other day that she used to watch the show after school.
Holler. Yeah, the show was like 1974 or something like that.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. But so you've seen all. So did you like this film?
Okay, so that's why I try to do this and fast forward to this last piece. So what happens is they go and start rebuilding their village, and obviously now there's beef because Shorty shot one of the apes. She
Hmm.
got a gun, which they never seen a gun before. She has a gun, and she rides off into the sunset as she basically kills a bunch of apes because she flooded that whole building. So only a small group of apes survive, and now they're like one mixed unit. And so they go and rebuild back at the original village.
Hmm.
And as they're rebuilding the original village, Shorty pops up.
Hmm.
And now the main ape is like, all right, let me see what this chick wants. And so he's there trying to say, like, yo, you violated.
Hmm.
But, Caesar would have wanted us to work in peace.
Hmm.
We're going to rebuild, but we're going to be smarter and better. And he trying to say his fly shit. He don't know Shorty got a gun. And she got it right here in her back. He
Okay,
thinks she's just standing there. She's contemplating killing him,
that's crazy.
but she doesn't. She rides off, and the movie follows her to a military bunker.
Another one?
Another one.
Okay, wait. Okay.
You see my face?
I see your face, but I've been asking you like what you
But
think.
now this is like the real
You're not
bunker, right?
actually.
Now this
Okay.
one is like a building. There's military people. Yo, listen to me, man. This is it. This is the last scene of the movie. This lady gives that cartridge to some other lady who's in there, like behind. In the movies when you go to a club, you gotta knock on the door. You just see the nigga eyes. What's
Right.
the password? It's one of those situations. So the
Okay.
lady's like, "What's up?" Oh no, I'm lying. The lady comes out in a full space suit,
Uh huh.
takes the cartridge from Shorty, and says, "All right, I'll be back." She strips down. You see her walking through the place. Yo, there's mad humans in this place. Mad, smart humans.
Oh wow.
Regular humans for me and you.
Oh.
She takes the disc, puts it in. The shit says loading and ready. And she puts a device to her face and says, oh, it's another guy. It's like a whole squad of people
Hmm.
working in engineering and doing all type of fly human smart shit. They say, all right, we're gonna see y'all. Let's see what happens. Hello? This is I forgot what city, but they say some city. And let's just say New York. It wasn't New York. It's some like small Iowa or something. Let's say Iowa. They're like, this
Yeah.
is Iowa. This is Iowa. Can anyone hear us? Can anybody hear us out there? This is Iowa. This is Iowa. Can anyone hear us? And you fucking guessed it. Somebody responds and says, oh, this is San Francisco. It's so nice to hear another human's voice. We didn't know anyone else survived. What the flying fuck?
Okay. Wow. That's a big revelation. You're
All
still
right,
not
so
telling us whether you liked the film or didn't like the film.
The film makes no sense.
Okay.
This is many generations later.
Mhm.
According to the old movies, humans are all Neanderthals.
Mhm.
Even if you want to go back to movie number 3, they said that only 10% of the population survived, and they have all begun to dumb down and become Neanderthals.
Mhm.
Where the fuck all these smart humans came from? We don't know.
Yeah.
Where the fuck this girl came from who played everybody, including the main character ape?
Yeah.
And why aren't these apes smarter if it's many generations later?
That's true. Yeah.
We don't know any of these answers. And
Oh.
that's why I'm basically telling the whole movie. So you could understand that this movie really just exists so we could go to number 5.
Okay.
This movie is just a bridge to get
Okay.
us from 3 to 5.
So will you be watching 5?
I gotta watch 5 because what the hell happened? Where
Because you need
y'all
to make
got a
sense
lot
of
of
4.
explaining to do. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Nobody does.
So give it a rating.
6.5,
Okay.
7.
Oh, that quick it went up.
It's just not. It's not bad, but it's not great. And as a
Okay.
standalone film, and this is what
Mhm.
I told my dad because he hasn't seen it yet. He's gonna see it tomorrow, actually.
Well, let's hope he doesn't try to watch this.
No, I spoke to him already, and my dad unfortunately doesn't watch weeknights. But anyway, um, as a standalone film, it's just not a good standalone film, right? Where those 3 movies that came out in 2010s, if I put on any of them for you, even though you've never seen a Planet of the Apes movie, it's a solid film,
Okay.
and you're curious about the next movie, but you don't need to watch the next movie. You didn't leave with 8 million unanswered, confused questions, right? So this movie only exists for that reason. Nobody later, 10 years from now, probably nobody's gonna watch this movie. We're gonna watch 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So I know I went all over the place and told y'all the whole movie, but I'm trying to explain
Mhm.
why my rating is my rating.
Okay.
Because nobody, even though the film didn't suck, I'm not going back to the theaters to watch this. I'm probably not buying this. I don't ever really need to watch this again because it really only exists to establish a new path to take us on for number 5.
Okay.
But they could
I
have
mean,
did that in 5 minutes. We didn't need a whole film that
yeah.
was 2 hours and 20 minutes to establish this new thing.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
It was like they wanted to create emotional attachment to the new characters and all this shit that really we didn't need.
It was more of an introduction to kind of get you in a certain space so that when you get to the next film, everything will make sense. You'll already be familiar with the characters and you'll be able to kind of just immerse yourself in it and not really like you can at that point you're getting your questions answered. You no longer have questions because it's playing out in front of you.
Yes.
That
But
makes
I'm very
sense.
nervous about moving forward because if I'm correct, and I'll check right now, but if I'm correct, these films are done by the dude who did Maze Runners, the Maze Runner movies.
Okay.
Those movies started off good and got worse and worse as they went along.
Uh-oh. Well, that's
And
not good.
so, and so if this is the best we're gonna get,
Hmm.
that makes me very nervous. So that's what I'm nervous about. I'm pulling up the name
I,
right now, actually.
I get that.
Oh shit, wrong button.
I mean, you gave it a 7, so it can't be that terrible, you know?
I mean, it looks beautiful. The story wasn't bad. Hard to hate this one.
Okay.
Wes Ball. Let me see if I'm correct. Wes Ball. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, Maze Runner. He did the Maze Runner movies. And that's what makes me nervous. Because
Hmm.
the Maze Runner movies, number one, is probably the best one, in my opinion. If y'all see Maze Runner, please let me know. But I feel like Maze Runner 1 was good. Number 2 was okay. And
Mhm.
number 3 was like, why are we still making these? Why?
Mm,
Why did y'all do this?
yeah.
Why did y'all make me sit through this?
Well,
And
well,
so
hopefully it's
that
not
makes
like
me
that.
nervous. Yeah, but we got to go based on your report card, right?
That's true. I understand that, but I'm, optimistic that maybe it will be better. Maybe listen, sometimes you have to go through the motions to figure out what makes sense and what doesn't. Maybe that was a learning experience for him, you know?
Yes.
I mean,
I
I
hope
don't know.
you're right. Well, if not, they're going to have to do a complete restart a couple years from now because if he ruins this franchise, it's going to be bad. You won't be able to do a number 7 if number 4, 5, and 6 suck.
Yeah. That's
You'd have to
understandable.
restart. You'd have to restart again in 2040. You know what I mean?
That's that's understandable. But they have you that they can tap because you know the ins and outs and the ups and downs. Oh,
Listen, West Ball, holler at your boy. You know what I mean? We could get number
please do.
5 popping.
Exactly. So,
Yeah. It was sad for me because I had high expectations
mhm,
because it's just when you are a fan of a franchise, you walk in with high expectations,
of
like, oh, they
course.
better
Yeah.
live up to the hype. Once they show like Caesar dying and this is many generations later, I'm like, oh, so they're gonna get to that shit from the 70s.
Yeah.
This kind
She,
of was that, but kind of not. And that even made me mad because when they show that second bunker,
mhm,
it was like, oh, so are you about to do the second movie? Because the second movie of Planet of the Apes in the 70s was about a group of survivors who never left this bunker. And in that bunker, they have a missile.
yeah.
And that missile has radiation. And so they've begun being deformed and stuff.
Okay.
They're like, they
Mm,
look like, so they're all fucked up. And that's what you find happen in movie number 2. And I hope they don't just remake movie number 2 as number 5.
mhm. Yeah, I no, I understand what you're saying, and I get what you mean about franchises, and 1 minute it's good, and the next minute it's not, but your expectations are high.
Yeah, like when you walk
I
into Harry
mean,
Potter, you have an expectation.
well, I was gonna say, when I walk into Cheesecake Factory, and it's a different location from one I've been to, my expectation is that the mac and cheese bites will still hit.
Yeah, yeah,
So I would be disappointed if they came out cold that time. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.